And we are live over here once again. Hello, friends, and welcome. Goodness, it really has been a little too long since we last did this thing, huh? You like the new transition? Been, I've been working on After Effects, been trying some new things here and there. Nice to see the some familiar names and the usual crew back here again. Um, as you can see, well, short hair. I'll explain. I'll explain everything. Because this is essentially just going to be a quick little update stream. Just gonna tell you guys about what happened in that trip of mine. So it shouldn't be a long stream. I'd say it's gonna be about half an hour or so. You got some snacks ready? You get those snacks ready for later. Guys are crazy. The playlists that you put together, over 100 videos that we have to catch up on. Good lord. Oh my god, there you guys are. Okay, you were gonna say the catch up stream might be better suited for the snacks. Yep, that is definitely a long stream inbound. So for this, essentially, well, while people are still getting in here, one of the main things that really happened is, like I said, the premise of the trip was because it's been 5 years since I last came home, and I had to go home because it was the perfect opportunity, and it was the birthdays of my grandparents, and it was the perfect opportunity for me to go back because even with I was able to find with the, what do you call it, with the restrictions of the with the pandemic, kind of a little bit more lenient now. Like for example, when a friend of mine went back home in Feb, before you had to do a 2 week quarantine, and I'm like, well, that's too long. That's cutting too much into my vacation time if I go home and only to do a 2 week quarantine. And I'm like, dude, I don't have that much time, to be away. But he said, "Oh, we don't need to do the restrictions anymore. You can just, so long as you have you're boosted, you're vaxxed, and blah blah blah. Just you're good to go." I decided, all right, sure, let's do that. So Val and I, we booked the ticket for for home, and I show up at the airport on the day where I was supposed to go, and dude, I'll tell you what, I experienced a whole new level of stress that I didn't even think was possible. And I took thesis twice. So, the what happened was, of course, at the time the requirement was that when you're going home, you need to provide a negative PCR test. Well, that kind of stuff. Here's the fucked up part. I get to the airport, I show up, I have all my other documents ready. My goddamn PCR results didn't show up. It didn't arrive in time. Because, what the messed up thing is? They say, hey, you need to have your test results within 24 to 48 hours. Guess how long it takes to process the results? 24 to 48 hours. So, my initial flight, I was not actually allowed to get on the plane, and we had to rebook it, which was pretty goddamn expensive at the time, So, bleh. Yeah. We had to rebook, and Kaika was actually able to help me find a good flight home. So, fast forward a few days later, I was finally able to go back home. Charged quite a lot though, but yeah. Uh, eventually reach home, and it was great. Um, it's been a very long time, 5 years, so a lot has changed. A lot has there are a lot of places that I really didn't recognize anymore. I was just gonna catch up with a lot of friends, and we were able to do some of that. Um, so we see. What was that? Oh, okay. So now we can get right into it because I'm gonna show you guys some vacation pics. Here you go. Let's just load this up and bam. Okay. So I know this first picture is gonna be dark, but that's because this is just it was just taken from the window because I was on the window seat heading home. It was a 12-hour flight to Japan, and then there was a bit of a layover, and then another 5-hour flight from Japan to the Philippines. So when I finally saw the lights from the window, I couldn't help myself. I made sure I need to take a picture of that. I actually got a bit teary eyed with that because it was just so very very long. Then, within a few days, of course, we head to the beach. There you go. You guys might remember this scene from that little this picture from that little short I took where I borrowed Kaika's Gura trident. So this is in front of our place. This lovely little shoreline. This is a cove. So the water here never gets really really deep. You can kind of go pretty far into the water, and it doesn't really go above your knees to your waist. That's really just the depth of the water here. So it's perfect. It's great for snorkeling too, and we of course have a handful of snorkels just in the house. Yeah. Then okay. This one, I had a little too much fun with this. The reason why I took a picture of this, like this is the door leading into the room, and for me, it was the most unintuitive thing in the world for a sliding door to have a doorknob. Just let that sink in. It's a sliding door with a doorknob. It is so unintuitive. Dude, I tell you what, the first time I tried to unlock this door, it took me 5 minutes because I couldn't figure it out. Because that doorknob, here's the stupid thing. That doorknob, it's like, it's locked in this position, and you have to, no. This is the unlocked position. When it's downturned, it's locked. You have to put it upwards so that it's sidewards, and then you can pull it open. It is so odd. I got trolled hard, man, for real. And then this is really funny because I have this whole setup over here, right, with my lights, my mic, second monitor, and all that. And then I go inside the room, and it's like, well, shit. So got Geppetto at the same door as well. Yeah, so this was my setup. A freaking tray table and my laptop. Pro gaming room, right? And that computer chair is from my grandma's house. Man, taking it back to humble beginnings, for real, right? I'm seated in front of my mom's open closet. Legends start from setups like this. Well, yeah, you all gotta start somewhere, right? Ah, man. Our course, I'm gonna have a lot of food pics. Gonna have a lot of food pics here, you guys. So just a little breakfast with some garlic rice. This is some small fried fish. We call this dilis. My fellow PH crew will understand. We got some cocktail sausages, fried eggs, and corned beef. Every Filipino you know, all right? Exactly. Sana makadilis lagi. And then this is just another view of the cove. Yeah, just small fried fish. So this is just the view of the cove from a different angle. This time, instead of looking down at the garden, I stood at the rock garden, and I just took a lovely little picture like that. So yeah, little rock garden again. This was lunch. So we have, of course, we got fresh fish. You always get the catch of the day where we live. You got pinakbet. This is just a mix of veggies, and this is actually snails. We call it kuhol in Tagalog. Nice hair, thank you. Yeah, I got some nilaga, of course, some fried chicken. So it's just a little bit of everything because it's a pretty big family. Yeah, so they made sure there was a little bit of everything for everyone. Cool pog. Yep. And then this was one of the resorts we visited to have dinner in, and I just saw this little setup. Of course, it was already folded at the time, but in the afternoon, this is all like, of course, all sprawled out, and people are just having the time of their lives. And yeah. Next picture we got, yeah, just another angle of the resort. You want to try some Filipino food? Dude, I will highly recommend you some. Yeah, it's just a nice, quaint little resort. And the food was, oh boy, this was their surf and turf, which was pork ribs and grilled shrimp. I don't know what time it is wherever you guys are watching this from, but you're either going to be very hungry or very jealous. Hey, this is very good, and it was, and because you're buying it from the since you're getting it from the provincial area, so the prices are also very, very good. Both currently. Is it a Filipino thing where going to vacation the whole family goes to? It tends to be the case, yes, at least for us. We normally take a lot of family vacations. We head to the same areas together. Yeah. It's very much a thing. Glad I brought some snacks to these food. So this is at my aunt's house, and she has these 3 little Shih Tzus, and they're just the most adorable little things. Yep, tends to be a Mexican thing as well, at least for your family. Yeah, I just I couldn't help. I just took a picture of them. They're such cute little doggies. They're called Milo, Tofi, and Churros. All food. You can tell it's a very foodie family. Yeah. And then once again, this time was really a seafood feast. We had some baked oysters over here. We got some garlic shrimp. This is a tuna jaw that we call tuna panga. That's the word in Tagalog. And of course, we got some crabs. Yeah, we were all very happy with this feast. She shrimps again. Yup. Hey. Yeah, because it's not where we are. It's really because you really get the catch of the day. It's not really that you get to pick too much with what you can. You can't say, oh, on this day I want scallops or I want this particular fish. No, it's really subject to what was caught during that day. Yeah. Okay. So this was a another resort. No, no, no. A small hotel that we went to, and it was a this was a roof deck bar. So they serve drinks, and it was a tapas bar. So you have these little appetizers and finger foods, and then they serve it with a lot of drinks. So this was the rooftop area. Unfortunately, the reason why the exposure is kind of like this too is because it was about to rain, so they didn't have the setup that night. Unfortunately, yeah. Hey, Maple. So of course our mini fridge was loaded with a lot of soda. And this is the front view near the going towards the deep sea already. So when the waves get really violent, it's actually not recommended for people to swim in this area. Yeah, so I was just taking pictures of this area. A little bit of nostalgia. You bunked in. Not too much soda? Oh, that wasn't mine. I can't have soda anymore right now. Yeah. And this was a little lagoon that we went to called Imuki Island. And I was offline for a couple of seconds. Oh, okay. So this was like a little tour. Unfortunately, it was really low tide here when we were just going around. So there are 3 lagoons in this area where you can swim, and it was a pleasant experience. I was really just there to accompany my cousins and Kaika, and it was really fun. Yeah, Whitey just had a little bit of a hiccup. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a lot nicer here when the water is higher. And those aren't actually rocks that you see; those are dead coral, surprisingly. So the footing on those things is actually very, very difficult because it's a little bit it's very uneven and it's jagged. It's tough to walk on. And yeah, Kaika tripped and she kind of scabbed her leg, actually, unfortunately. Yeah, so you'll notice it when you look closely over here. See that it's not the kind that there are so many like little holes and divots in it. That's because of it's dead coral. Yeah, all of that is dead coral. So it can be, yeah, it can be tough. It's a little painful. Yeah. And then here's a big overview shot of the place. Go. It was a pretty good day, even though it drizzled a bit. I mean, you're already swimming in the water. It's not as if it was a big deal. Nope. See, you'll see here all those details, those little concaves. Yeah, there you go. And it was over here. It was getting darker. We left. Yep, yep, yep. Then sunset. It was pretty cool because like there was a big hanging like rain cloud over it, but we could still see a very clear sunset. I was particularly a big fan of this one. Man, the sunsets by the beachside can't be beat, I tell you. And out here, this is back at our house. They were tending to a little garden, and because, of course, of the weather, a lot of the flowers really thrived and came alive here. This was my mom is very proud of this little project of hers. Flowers. Yeah, I'm just taking it from different angles. Life is better at the beach. I saw this sign inside the house. I had to take a picture of it. I just had to take a picture because I agree completely. Ah, so one of the biggest changes that happened where I am is that one of my uncles, he created this events place. So this is one of the gardens. They can even hold like garden weddings, big events, all this stuff. And at night, all of these little lanterns go they turn on, and it illuminates this little garden in a beautiful setting. And it's just that perfect amount of lighting where it's not too bright, but just enough that it really sets the mood, and it's beautiful. Yeah. There you go. So that's the events place. It's called Vista La Vita, and it's essentially built on top of on a mountain. And the nice thing is he built with the land. He didn't really break anything, and this isn't even finished yet. Yeah, this isn't even finished yet. Um, it's still being expanded further. You see this little area up here, up there. That's still the next part of the project that's being established here. There's a pool here, the little events rooms. There are also villas that you can rent around the area, so it's the perfect place for it. I believe I have some pictures here where I took it at night. So this is going further inside to a different a different events area. Got all of these lovely little things. And then there's a gathering hall. Can accommodate up to 300 people if I'm not mistaken. A little gazebo over here. And this was inside the hall. So there's a little stage. It's really meant for hosting events. Yeah. Go. And of course, once again, the flowers really thriving up here. Man, I was so impressed by this. It was his big project for the past few years. Yeah, Vista La Vita. It's Spanish. Yeah. So yeah, that's the pool that's inside. So if you go upstairs, you go right over here, and that's the pool. It's only 5 feet deep, so it's very easy to swim in. And you got your little chairs over here. They hadn't set it up yet at the time, but they also set up the beach lounge chairs, which is great. It's a great way to spend an afternoon, especially if the winds are too strong and the beach is a little too violent to enjoy. But you can always go up here. Yeah, and there you have, of course, this is in the off hours. So this is the bar and the pool table. Yeah, there you go. You got a little dartboard. It's a whole little recreational area. Then you got those little outdoor patios, stuff like that. And then for breakfast the other day, this is champorado. It's essentially sticky rice coated in dark chocolate, and then we cook it in a little bit of peanut butter. And then because it's a little bit bitter, you mix in some condensed milk to make it a little sweeter, and then you eat it. You have some tuyo on the side. This is some salty dried fish, chocolate porridge essentially. Yes. Oh man, you cook it so well back home, of course. Yep, sticky rice, dark chocolate with peanut. Yep. So sometimes when you go to the beach, of course, there's just some random stuff that gets washed up there. Yep. Maple, no. It's God tier with you. That's what I'm talking about, Paul. We had a ham and cheese omelet another time. So, yeah. And that's me when I still had my dang long hair. This one is at my dad's farm. I had no idea he had a friggin' farm. So, we decided to take this picture because it's an oversized bench, but it looked normal when I sat on it. That's just a random picture. Kaika decided to take it because it just looked a little bit funny. So, all right, so that's not showing up right now. That's okay. Hold on. Minor glitch in the system. Give me just a second. It's a nocturnal. Okay, go. Taking a pic on the benches you can use as the next music video. So this is one of the this is the house that they're building at the farm area. Yeah. Oops. Glitched out. Give me just a second while I get that back going. I don't know what happened there. Give me just a second. We are experiencing technical difficulties. It is, well, you know how it is. The EN curse. That's how you know that we're establishing ourselves as reaction channels and content creators. We are now also experiencing the curse, huh? Not the send stream of Rainscoft? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Key. To here. Hold on. Give me just a second. I'm gonna get this going. With here we go. Should be good now. Art of our culture. Yep. There you go. So this one was just a mix of like all the food that we had. It was a big platter. It just came with ribs, chicken barbecue, some veggies, some fries. There was pasta on the side. Like it was just a massive food trip, you know. This was dinner at one point. And then little goats. There we go. So we had some fried bananas, some avocados, sardines, which I shouldn't be having much of now. Those rice balls on the side. Yeah, those were, well, not necessarily rice balls, they're just like neatly packed cups of rice. Ah, there we go. This is breakfast. This is delicious. So this right here, this is our chorizo from our area up north. We always have it with fried egg and garlic rice. And then you also have some. This is fried swordfish. We called it daing na espada. And then we have another form of dried fish over here. It's very, very good. And kind of looks like burnt potatoes, I know. But yeah, this is chorizo from the northern areas of the Philippines. So good. So you usually serve it with, you know, the rice. You just split the egg on rice. And there's something else that we do. This is unique to my family. We actually have a little bit of like dark sweet chocolate that we mix into the rice. I know Val freaked out the first time I ever showed this to her. But I told her, I swear it's good. It doesn't look very appealing, but I just wanted to show you guys, just sharing like our little food culture, you know? PH Chorizo Longanisa also SS tier good. Oh. So this was another beach. This one is in the rocky areas of the north. As you can see, this one isn't as picturesque, but yeah, it's not as picturesque, but it just there are a lot of colored stones that you can collect on the shoreline. Yeah, I know, Lux, right? Every time I show that to people, they always have question marks on their faces. There's the little watchtower here. It was already this was a reconstruction of the little watchtower that they had. Of course, you got the street vendors here. They're sending their street food, making you hungry with all the food stuff. Yeah, and then we had there's a place we went to called Steak to One, and yeah, it's just all meat. And then while we were traveling, I decided to take a picture of this. This is in the car. It's just that I really wanted to take a picture of it because the trees, it's like they're forming a little corridor, right? And I just found it so cool that it was like the perfect cave, a corridor just created by trees. It just happens naturally, you know? That kind of stuff. And it curves perfectly along with the road too. So it's very, very cool. Then, of course, more food pictures. This time we got some tocino going. And this is our homemade sweet potato fries. And of course, the fried fish again. Fresh avocados. Yeah. You can tell we really enjoy our avocados and our fried eggs, huh? Aye. Professional Instagrammer. I'll tell you what, it was like it did feel like I was doing like food blogging because I was making sure to take those pictures well. For pictures of the cove. It was a lovely day that time. You could really see all the way to the other end, you know? And this was on the other side. It's just this little cove that really just goes through all this stuff. And this was a bit of low tide, so it was very peaceful water today. Yeah. Food blogger side aspiration. Oh, this, okay. That's a bat. Okay. The reason why I wanted to show you this weird picture was because we were in the chapel. Okay, we were in the chapel because it was my grandpa's birthday. They wanted to, do a mass for him. A bat flies into the chapel, and there's this giant ceiling fan that's just whirring like that. And as you know, of course, the little bats, they use sonar to navigate. Problem was, he goes into this chapel, and the sound system is blaring. The acoustics are going mad. This little guy, this poor guy, just couldn't navigate. He flies straight into the ceiling fan. He gets pinballed twice on the blades and then just lands with a splat on the floor. Guess what? This little guy was still alive. we went up to it, and it was like crawling like I felt so bad for him. Oh my god. This poor little bastard. But he was crawling, he was moving. I know, what a fighter, right? What a trooper. Yeah. So this is the events place at night. So you got some lighting in the pool. It's just one of the staff who's helping clean up the place. Right? Oh, I didn't carry the bat outside. We just kind of let it be at that point. I think it was able to, I hope it was able to recover, but I know it did. So yeah, this is what the events place looks at night when there's, a lot of people in it now. Very active, very lively little place. Yeah, I really love what they did with the place. So, dinner, of course, more food. Iris would say her fears are valid. I know. So this one was just a big seafood feast, Got that blue lemonade going. More food. This time we had fresh papaya. Look how beautiful the color is on that papaya. That was so sweet that day. We got fried bananas. This is okay, and then we have corn. Hello, short-haired Sen. Yep. And then the random packet of Swiss Miss. I know. Okay. I need, before I tell you this, I have to apologize for my Spanish-speaking friends. Okay? I need to apologize to you guys. I am not cursing in Spanish. But the name of this dish, this, the little white rice cakes, is puto. As in Puto. I know. So I apologize to my Spanish speaking friends. It's very, very good. It just has an unfortunate name for my for people who speak Spanish. I know. God. But it's a sweet little it's like a sweet little rice cake. Yeah. It is fantastic. It's usually an excellent accompaniment to, breakfast foods like this. So Sans already just throwing shade. I know. All right, and this is only in the Philippines. This is a small tricycle, all right? It's about this size. That's what it is, all right? And it's carrying this much. Paul will know. Paul would know this. The provincial meta. Look. I don't know how in the world they're able to overload a tricycle with that much stuff. Physics, right? Only in the Philippines, just bought a freaking basket from one yesterday. Yep. And then this is at a weaving craft store. So this one was, you get all of the intricate Filipino furniture, decorations, stuff like that. So you got all your wooden spoons, little utensils, little bowls, the weave baskets, placemats, trivets, all sorts of lovely little things. Like, these beautiful dishes. You absolutely can use these. And it's very, very intricately made. So all of this stuff was very, very nice. See? And they really are flexible with the amount of the kinds of shapes and sizes that they have for all these things. Yeah, I was able to buy I bought Val one of those bags. It was just an interesting little thing. Okay. This was super funny to me. All right. They call this a bath dipper. And it costs 265 pesos. Now, this was at a Japanese store where they have all these fancy schmancy things. And we have in Filipino something called a tabo. It's literally just a small water scooper. Alright? Tabo, men. 265 pesos. Gago ba sila? Putang ina. I mean, that's 20 pesos. That's not, it's supposed to only be 20 pesos. You're charging 265 for a freaking plastic bath dipper, and you're calling it a bath dipper. 265 pesos. Man. Fuck. Right, you can buy a thin ass one for 15. I'm like, who the hell are they trying to kid here? 165 por tabo. Buisit sila. I just wanted to point that out. So of course, more food. We had some grilled chicken that day. Um, what was that? Corn, mushrooms, and shrimp. Yeah, you can tell we love shrimp. Thankfully, I'm not allergic to it, nor am I banned from eating it. The materials must be cold. I know. There you go. That's a better picture. Ooh, and this was a tiramisu. So freaking good. Boy, you guys, I tell you what, I had a feast. I had a food trip. All right. For my Filipino friends in the chat, you're going to love this one. I had to take a picture of this because it was the most Filipino thing I've ever seen. It's a car wash. It's a sign. It says it's a car wash, and there's a small font. There's a little word up here. And it literally says Putotoy car wash. For my non-Filipino speaking friends, they literally just called this. They literally just called this dick car wash. All right. It is literally the private parts of the guy. It's a car wash. Only in the Philippines, man. Only in the Philippines. I tell you what. Son of a bitch. Ay, nako. They're just taking pictures of other flowers. I know, based odor. This was a little vase that my mom painted herself. She started doing porcelain stuff. And this picture, this is lamb ribs with roasted potatoes. It's from a Greek restaurant. One of my favorites. I make sure to always have this at least once whenever in the Philippines. If you guys know it, it's from a restaurant called Cyma, Cyma. This is the paidakya. It's the lamb ribs. Very, very, very good. I decided to take a picture of this one because it was one letter away from Watame. And I just couldn't resist taking a picture. Watami. But it's really just so like, okay, this is so close to Watame, grilled sushi bar. There you go. And okay. Now I'll explain everything for this one. Why did I cut my hair short? Well, it's a medical reason. So when I went home, apart from being with family, I also made sure to do all my medical stuff there. Because, you know, it's what do you call it? Healthcare here in America is way too goddamn expensive. I just no. Just no. So I go home and I have aunts and uncles who are doctors, so I went and consulted with them. Turns out with my hair, the problem was I have oily hair. And when it was long, my scalp couldn't breathe. So I started to develop a severe dermatitis. And the thing is, my scalp was never itchy. None of the spots were ever painful. It just went completely under my radar. But then when my aunt, who was a derma, just checked my scalp, she's like, "Oh my god, this is a problem. You have to cut your hair because it couldn't breathe." And apparently, the condition was such that if left unchecked, I could have boils on my scalp, and you don't want that. So, I had to cut my hair short, had to even take antibiotics. Now, the rest of these medicines are for my stomach. When we checked, they actually had to do an endoscopy on me because I was already complaining about some acidity, some gastritis, and stuff like that. Hey, Mim Gumin. But I also just checked out some stuff like that. I was having some stomach problems. We thought it was simply just acidity. Turns out it was a lot more serious than that. They found in my stomach 7 ulcers. 7. Thankfully, they're on the way to healing. But yeah. Turns out, 7. Turns out one of the triggers for my ulcers, unfortunately, is stress. So that's why I have so much medicine right now. I'm on the way to recovery, but that's why I have to also be more aware of the things I eat. I have to take all these medicines. When we checked my blood work, my cholesterol was high, my uric acid was high. So I'm now taking some medicine to kind of keep that under wraps. But I'm getting better. I'm feeling better. I'm slowly recovering. My stomach is in a much better condition now than it used to be. And yeah, that's why I now have the short hair. And I medically cannot grow this out anymore. So this is the new look. Which means I'm going to have to rebrand the channel a little bit. Yeah. I'm okay. Let me see. Do you have any other pictures here? Just more pictures of food. Lasagna. A nice little breakfast with a potato omelet. Deep fried shrimp, Spanish sardines. More pictures of the beach. Yeah, this one was a day when the waves were very, very strong. Looks nice. Well, thank you, Mark. And this one was at a Chinese restaurant. It was for one of my aunt's birthdays, and it was just a lot of food. We had some Peking duck. When you came to your hair, did you have any traces of psoriasis or seborrheic dermatitis? It wasn't seborrheic dermatitis, but there was a form of dermatitis. I'm not sure if it was that exact one, Evan. But also, we had to cauterize some things off of my scalp. So that was fun. Oh, God. I even had stitches for a little while. Yeah. Eesh. They had to extract something off of my scalp. And then when they brought it to the lab, they said, oh, it's a good thing we checked that out because apparently, if left unchecked, that could end up becoming something bad. It could end up like there were some moles on my scalp that they weren't sure if they were dangerous or not. When they extracted it, it was good that it wasn't dangerous, but apparently it had the potential to turn into something so dangerous that could kill me in a year. So yes, you can imagine my relief that we did everything there. Imagine your doctor just casually drops it on you. That she says it's a good thing we extracted it because if left unchecked, this thing could have become. It's not cancerous, but it could have become something that could evolve into a skin cancer that could kill you in a year. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good thing I went home, didn't I? So this was one of my last dinners in before I left. It was lobster bisque, French onion soup, A cheese souffle. Oh, baked sea bass, Chilean sea bass in miso sauce. This was an absolute treat for the taste buds. Yeah. Thank goodness family members are supportive for my health. Yeah. And it was directly my family member. So it was it was a huge relief that I did everything there. And that's why my flight was extended. That's why I stayed until July 6th. Because if I had left at my original date of June 24th, we would not have the time to address all of these things. So yeah. And then this was Kaika's order. It was a small piece of tenderloin and some sea bass as well. And then we had the mango crepe. Understandably extended. Yep, exactly. And then the night before I left, we had dinner at a Japanese restaurant. This is gindara. It's a type of codfish, and you just have it with sushi rice, and it's absolutely delightful. And it's me. This was when I was already heading home. No, that was on the plane on the way home. Senception. So that's pretty much all of the pictures I had. I wanted to show you guys. So yeah, it was very eventful. It was very eventful. It was all of the birthdays, getting the medical stuff checked out, the new look, and there were a lot of things. As for the channel updates, there were a lot of things that that really came to mind. You know, a lot of new ideas, a lot of fun concepts that came to mind. Some new things that I wanted to introduce and do in the channel, because you know when you have time away from these things, right? That's when you gain all these new ideas. You know, the cogs in your brain start to turn, and you just get inspired sometimes. There's some new things that hit you. And so one of the things I wanted to do, so tomorrow we're gonna play Holocure, all right? And if that goes well, I think I'm gonna do a handful of gaming streams here and there. And then one of the big things I also wanted to do was to really get back into doing 3D art, 3D environments and stuff. Gamer girl here. Kaika's earphones are still at home. Her headphones. But I am planning to do a bit more 3D stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some time-lapse videos of some what do you call it? Of some 3D environments that I was planning to make. For example, one of the projects that I had lined up was, you know, Iris just had her 1-year anniversary and all that, right? So I was actually planning to make a 3D environment of an idol stage at the top of the Tokyo Skytree in order to be like a little homage to, like, you know, the MV of Seisura of Despair. So I wanted to make a 3D environment, like an idol stage at the top of that, with a city skyline overlaid in the background. Because what I wanted to do was, what do you call it? Back then, when I was still doing some 3D stuff back in the day, what happened was, you know, the way they tell you to do things is find a company. This was when I was still in the game dev stuff. They said, find a company that you want to really apply for, and then curate and hone your portfolio to be in an art style that is consistent with that company. Unfortunately, that company was Blizzard, and we all know the fall from grace that thing experienced. Holy shit. So I'm like, maybe not. Um, so I didn't want to just arbitrarily make 3D stuff for the sake of making 3D stuff because, I need a purpose. I need a purpose behind the work that I make. So then I realized, wait a minute, let's do the 3D anime art style, and let's push it for Hololive, where it's a much more it's we're more integrated into the community now, and there's a lot of potential that we can make, and because what you we there's already an abundance of amazing illustrations and portraits, character animations and stuff like that, but you don't normally see a lot of focus on environmental stuff. So I felt like, hey, maybe that's a little niche that we can kind of get into. So I'm gonna get back into the 3D stuff. We'll start off with that Iris idle stage on the sky tree with the city skyline in the back, and we'll take it from there. We'll probably have some more. I'll probably ask you guys for some suggestions on the Discord, because there's a lot of potential that we can have there. Yeah, and then as you were saying, Poet, you're asking about possibly some Monster Hunter stuff. Yes, because Monster Hunter is my favorite franchise of all time. I have at least 500 hours in each game. So I might do something like that. Yeah. But we're still gonna, we're not gonna completely change it up. We're still gonna have the reaction stuff. We're still gonna do the teach me Niji stuff. We're still gonna make our regular we're still gonna have our regular reaction content and stuff like that. Essentially, we're adding more things, adding a little bit more spice, a little bit more variety, and but we're still gonna maintain consistent with the rest of the channel. All right. So yeah, let me see. Do I have some 3D art I can show you? Oh, give me just a second. I have some 3D art I can show you. Give me just a second. This is okay. You see, should still have some environments that I can show you. This was from when I was still making this stuff more regularly. Hold on. You have a place that many. Okay. Let me see. Should have some pictures here. Give me just a sec. Give me just a sec. 3D environments. Whoops. Okay. So that's too many members in Harry Potter houses if we do the entirety of Niji, though. Okay. I think I can do this one. Opens Blender, deletes the. Nah. I have something more than that to show you. Here. There. So there was one time, this was for my thesis in art school. I decided to recreate the Borderlands art style in 3D. So with this one, I created everything from scratch. I modeled everything. I just found some old concept art. I found a way to create this the comic art style, the comic book art style. Yeah. So we had a gyrocopter. We got, all these landing pads. Yeah. So this is the extent of what I can do. So of course, the Borderlands art style, it has a little bit of, the wonky steps. Yeah. So this was cell shading, my first experience with doing cell shading. And I was really surprised when I found out that most of the cell shading stuff is actually a camera trick. It's a post-processing effect that you apply on the camera. So your environment can actually afford to look a lot more simplified because the camera is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So yeah, these kinds of things, the old little wrecks of the metals, outer walls, yeah. Got some, the cracked textures on the ground. Yep. Exactly. The joy of game design is all smoke and mirrors. Kind of like what Bob Ross would say. It's not necessarily that you need to make everything look accurate. It just needs to look convincing. So yeah, this kind of stuff. Got all those the wrecked banners. Most of these are just planes with alpha maps on it. Transparency is going. Most of this one was just a hand painted texture. This kind of thing. So I'm looking to see how I can translate this stuff to, making Hololive materials. Yeah. We can just get that right now. Random question: are you by any chance gonna give Iris that Tokyo Tower thing I was planning to make? Yeah, I'm gonna when I finish that 3D artwork, I'm going to put it on her art tag on Twitter. And we'll just see. We'll hope for the best. Because the thing that I don't know is, because if they wanted to ever use any of these 3D environments, I just need to know what file format is used in their, when they do those 3D stuff. Because I can easily just make the file formats in a certain way, and they can use it, So yeah, you're gonna have to pick my brain for when you eventually start doing levels. Your aim is to also do some Hololive inspired stuff and Souls levels. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, no problem, Aztec. Be glad to have a conversation with you anytime. So yeah, that's pretty much is all I wanted to say to you guys. We just wanted to share the what do you call it? I wanted to share the vacation pics with you, give you an update why I cut my hair short. This is channel stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun moving forward. You can tell I've already done a little bit of rebranding. I am gonna have to adjust my logo because it still has my long hair on it. Evan, have I seen MVs and clips? Oh, don't worry, my friend. My mods made sure to do that already. They already collated and collected a playlist of things that for us to react to, and what essentially is that's why we're gonna have another stream in a few hours, and we're gonna start with the catch-up streams. 72 hours. Ah! Yeah, it's gonna be a new logo with the shorter hair. It's gonna be fun. All right. So, gonna get some new Noraneko content. Oh, that's gonna be great. Okay. So, I'd say that should pretty much wrap it up, you guys. Yeah, we pretty much covered everything that I needed to cover. I wanted to thank you so much for dropping by, catching up with me. I hope you enjoyed all the food photos. Perhaps it was like what do you call it? Frustrated food blogger at some point in my life. Yeah. So, what's gonna attack me later is gonna be the jet lag, because remember, I just arrived a few days ago. So, the endurance streams might be a little bit difficult, but that's why you'll see in the schedule on the community tab, we're gonna have a few of these catch-up streams. All right. So it's 10 a.m. my time. I'll catch you guys in about 3 hours. Excuse me. Around 1 p.m. my time. And we'll start the catch up stream. Okay? It's amazing how much you miss in 6 weeks. Holy crap. There's so much stuff for us to check out. So we're going to have some fun with that. Okay? So that should be it for now, you guys. I'm gonna catch you later. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. With that, our session is adjourned. Okay. Everybody, please take care of yourselves. I'm gonna see you guys later for our catch-up stream. Okay. Otso sen. Where is the ending screen? Dang it. The things that you forget when you haven't streamed in so long, right? Here we go.